Hi, Mystery Atlas here. Today I'm going to explain an action Jason Statham type movie called Shelter. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie opens in a lighthouse on a small island of Scotland where our protagonist, Michael Mason, lives a solitary life away from civilization. He never leaves the island, and each week someone brings him the supplies he needs to survive. The delivery man often sends his little niece, Jessie, to carry the boxes to the entrance. Jessie often tries to strike up a conversation with Mason and leave him gifts, but he always ignores her and remains shut inside his home.
Checkmate now. You, man, I'll get the checkmate.
You didn't even bother to say thank you for all the supplies and gifts. Don't come back. What are you doing in such a desolate place? The lighthouse doesn't even work anymore.
What about my uncle? He's gone. He didn't make it.
The next morning, Mason examines Jessie's wound, which is quite deep. So he carefully treats it and bandages it as best he can. Jessie becomes restless and insists that she wants to leave because her family is looking for her. But Mason says that he knows her parents have passed away and that her uncle was the only family she had left. The girl is shocked by how much he knows about her. So Mason reveals that her uncle was a close friend of his, and that they both served in the Navy together. He then briefly leaves the house. So during his absence, Jessie grabs a nearby knife and keeps it with her for protection. That night, Jessie experiences a nightmare and begins screaming. So Mason rushes to her side to try to calm her down. However, she thinks he's trying to hurt her, so she quickly points her knife at him, but Mason calmly reminds her that he only approached to comfort her. After which, he teaches her how to properly hold the knife and how to use it if needed. In the following days, the bond between Mason and Jessie gradually strengthens, and he begins to act as a protective father-like figure toward her. Jessie also develops a strong affection for Mason's dog and spends her time playing with him, which makes her feel happier. One day, she asks for Mason's name since she still doesn't know it, but he refuses to tell her. She then asks about his dog's name, but Mason says he doesn't have one, so Jessie decides to name him Jack. Jessie then starts playing chess with Mason and proves to be a tough competitor, which amuses him. Later, Mason notices that Jessie's leg wound is not healing as it should, and the inflammation continues to worsen. She suggests going to the hospital, but Mason strictly refuses for some reason. He then decides to leave the island and travel to the nearest coastal town to buy medical supplies. Once in the town, Mason acts with extreme caution, walking with his face hidden under a cap and avoiding security cameras. The scene then cuts to London, where we see several government officials interrogating a man named Manafort, who used to direct the Secret Service known as MI6.
It turns out he is being questioned about his invention called Thea, an artificial intelligence that monitors people through cameras. This AI also has the ability to intercept phone conversations around the world to gather valuable information, raising serious concerns about privacy violations. However, Manafort tries to justify his actions by claiming that the system has helped prevent multiple terrorist attacks.
Despite his arguments, the authorities insist that the program must be shut down immediately. Later, Manafort seeks support from the Prime Minister, who admits that the project has been useful, but refuses to publicly back him due to the upcoming elections. She thus suggests that Manafort continue operating the system in secrecy and withdraw from the public spotlight for a while. The information quickly reaches Ribera, who is the new head of the MI6 intelligence agency. The data manages to track Mason's location and identify him as a terrorist responsible for bombing the British embassy in Algeria. Roberta now immediately orders a special forces team to be sent to the island to capture him.
It's the least I could do for ending danger in your life and all. What? Give it a moment, love, you'll see. Hide in the bathroom with a knife. We can't leave Jack behind. He's already dead.
Send workmen. Find everything about Jesse.
Roberta calls Manafort and demands to know who Mason is. He explains that years ago he created a secret operations unit called Black Kite. Mason was his most exceptional agent, a highly trained operative who could accomplish any mission assigned to him. One time, Manafort ordered him to assassinate a foreign official considered a public threat. Mason refused to follow the order and disappeared, which led Manafort to believe he had become a traitor. "Oh, my wings are here." Manafort warns Roberta that Mason is the most dangerous person in existence and that he will need the full power of the state to stop him. Roberta does not trust his version of events and orders her own investigation. She soon discovers the alleged foreign official was actually an Iranian scientist secretly helping MI6 by providing classified information about Iran's nuclear weapons program. Instead of protecting the asset, Manafort ordered Mason to kill the scientist to maintain plausible deniability. Mason chose moral judgment over blind obedience and abandoned the mission. Manafort viewed Mason's refusal as betrayal and placed him on MI6's high-priority target watch list. Shortly after, they arrive at a small church where they meet Mason's old friend Arthur, who takes them to his home. Arthur, a former MI6 computer specialist who worked with Manafort to develop Thea, explains he altered Mason's identity, changing it into that of an oil worker from Aberdeen. Later, someone uncovered the truth and replaced that identity with that of a high-value terrorist on the watch list. Mason realizes the only way forward is to confront Manafort. He asks his friends to take care of Jesse, but Arthur refuses, revealing he is suffering from cancer and has only a few months left to live. Devastated, Mason decides to contact someone named Kamal to ensure Jesse is escorted safely out of the UK. Arthur objects since Kamal is a known criminal, but Mason insists he has no other choice. They prepare to leave in a vehicle when Mason senses an intruder who turns out to be Workman. A brutal face-to-face confrontation erupts between the two agents.
Jesse, why can't we stay together? Mason, as long as Manafort is alive, you won't be safe by my side. Mason, I need you to get Jessie out, a new identity and enough money for her future. Mason, you have no more than 10 minutes to act.
Kamal, I've got a new passport for Jessie and $200,000. Go to the docks. A boat will take her to Spain.
Arthur, off-screen. I've got the vehicle on the city cameras, tracking it now.
Jesse, don't leave me. You're the only family I have. Mason, I can't. My world is too dangerous for you.
Manafort, we're the same stuff of them.
The scene then cuts to 3 months later, where we see Jessie living a normal life in Spain. She is sitting in a cafeteria while Roberta and her team in London monitor her. They are confident that Mason will eventually visit her and plan to catch him since he's now a wanted fugitive. However, all of a sudden, the camera inside the cafe is readjusted and the team in London can't see anything. Just then, a waiter hands Jessie a small package from an unknown person, and when she opens it, she finds a chess piece inside. Jessie smiles softly, realizing that her friend is alive and watching over her from a distance. The movie ends as we see Mason standing across the street, observing Jessie from afar. So far that there are no cameras over there with a faint smile on his face.